Welcome everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you for joining me. If you're new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please click the button for me. It would really help me out. It supports my channel. Leave a comment, hit the like button, all of those sort of things would help support my channel and I would greatly appreciate it. And as an added bonus, you'll be able to stay up to date on all things that are going on in the world of music. Just like this, we're going to take a look today at Tom Petty and his Wildflowers and all the rest. There are two versions or main versions that are out. You have the standard 2 CD version, but then there is the 4 disc version of this, and there is also a super deluxe 5 disc box set edition of it. We're going to take a look and compare those two together, and I'll thumb through them, unbox them, so that you can get a look at those two. And so the album that we're talking about here, Wildflowers, was a 3-time platinum solo album for Tom Petty that was the follow-up to his 1989 album Full Moon Fever. So this was actually only Tom Petty's second solo record at the time. And despite the album featuring all of the Heartbreakers on it, minus Stan Lynch, of course, because he had opted not to partake in it, the album itself was released as a solo album in 1994, and because of this, for this, Tom Petty, he wanted more freedom on this album. So the idea was he wanted to use the Heartbreakers, a band and members that he knew, but he wanted to be able to direct them as opposed to have this be more of a band effort. And so that's how this became a solo record. And originally it was intended to be a double album, but the record label at the time nixed that idea for the, more favorable 15-track single disc edition that we all know that came out back in 1994. And the 10 tracks that didn't make that, what would have been the double album there, have been compiled here under the title of All the Rest. And 5 of those have never been released. 4 of those are different recordings from ones that would later appear on She's the One. Those 4 tracks, along with the song Walls, were actually intended to be what Tom Petty was calling Wildflowers 2, but it didn't happen, ultimately being released as She's the One. So we're going to take a look now at Wildflowers and all the rest, and we're going to first talk about this one here, which is the 4-disc version of this. You can see the track listing of the stuff that's on the back there. So this package here is broken down into 4 discs. It's got 54 tracks. 7 of them are unreleased. Disc 1 is the original album, Wildflowers. It's the 15-track remastered album. Then Disc 2 is All the Rest, and that's the 10 remaining tracks that were supposed to be on the second disc of this that would have been the double album part. Disc 3 is called Home Recordings, and they're more of an intimate alternate take on the album, and it mixes both tracks from Wildflowers and All the Rest. So it's almost like getting an alternate take of the album itself too, because of the running order of these. And then Disc 4 is called Wildflowers Live, and this one here I really like. It's some really great inspired performances that don't always follow the blueprint. I think that's a good thing here. These live versions are also gathered together throughout his career from 1995 all the way up to the last tour in 2017 before he passed away. And they're actually mixed seamlessly together into one performance, so there's no fade in, fade out. The crowd audience is all the way through that. So let's take a look at this and see what this is here. This one here is nice. It's a compact version, and as you'll see when we go through the two of these, they are different. The artwork and the setup on them is different. So even if you're like me and you're going to get multiple versions of this for different reasons, there is different things for each one of them. And I'll point out one of those in just a bit here. But it starts off with the book, and it's got some great photos and things like that here in it. And of course, it's got the track by track breakdown for each of the discs in here. That's really the best part of it. But there's no history or anything like that that's part of this, except for little bits of introduction on each of these discs and stuff. And then we get to the discs themselves, and they're in these individual sleeves, and the discs are just in the top. And then they've got this artwork that was created for it on the reverse side of each of these. And this one here is one that only comes in this album here. And then these other ones, actually, I'm sorry, it's this one here is the one that only comes in this set here. It does not come in any one of the other ones. So that's the 4-disc version of this. And then so now in the Super Deluxe edition, and this one's only available on the band's website, this one here has a 5th disc in it, and compiled with that, so we've got 5 discs, 70 tracks on this one versus the 54 on the 4-disc. This one has 9 unreleased instead of the 7 unreleased that come on the 4-disc. And so the 5th disc that's in here is called Finding Wildflowers. And this one here has alternate versions of the songs that, of course, would later appear on Wildflowers. It was sort of them figuring out the right arrangements for these. And there's 16 tracks on it, 2 of which that didn't make the album. But let's take a quick look at this, and I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on those standout songs in just a minute, but let's look at this. So this is the front of it, and there's the spine and the back side of it. So as you can already see, there's already a bit of difference in it, the way that this one is just a track listing. This one, of course, starts to get some of that imagery that was like the original album. What I like about this is it's a magnetic lift top thing, and so when we open this up here, and you've got that. And this one here is a numbered limited edition. You can see mine there on that. You get that. And then you get this folder here that's got a couple cool things in it that I'll show you in just a moment. Some memorabilia stuff. There is this, which is a reproduction of the original tour book from it. And then this little ribbon pulls out the actual thing that holds the discs in it. And so again, right off the bat, if we look at this one here versus the 4-disc version of it, this is the way that, sorry, there we go, that the 5-disc comes versus the 4-disc. So kind of interesting there just to see the different styles in it. So it's not like in the 5-disc version you open it up and you just get another one of these. It is actually different. So while I have this out, let's take a look at this. And I also like this. This is the only place that this image was where they actually worked together all the individual pieces of art that were used to create this into one collaged image that's there. And then when we open this up, we get some great images right off the bat, similar to the other one. But what this one here has that the other one does not is a history of Wildflowers in it by the journalist David Frick, who does a lot of these things and is really good, archivist at collecting all of this and telling the story. And so it's this one that's here. And so you get that is different to this box set. You get the bigger book with more images, pictures, the history of Wildflowers, and some real insight into it more than just what you get in the other one. And then of course you get all of the track by track breakdown and everything just like you do on the 4-disc one. But of course this one also has all the information for the 5th disc about finding Wildflowers. And then in the back, the discs are done like this. And so this one here, see, it does not have those art prints the way that the 4-disc one does. It just has these cardboard sleeves. Just as a quick reminder, I'll open this one up. So this one has the cardboard sleeve, but on the back side, it had the art, right? So again, just another thing that is different between these two versions if you're looking to collect and to understand all of that. Let's take a look at this really cool reproduction of the tour book. What I like is it's die cut out. And so you've got that, the Wildflower logo that was there on this. And this was done for the Dogs with Wings 95 tour. You can see that on the back there. And then the tour book here. And it's just got a lot of great images inside it. There was a cool little, sort of greeting in the front by Tom Petty thanking the fans and everything. But otherwise, just a lot of really great images and things in this tour book. And for me, I always like getting the reproduction tour books and stuff like that. So that's really cool that that was part of it. And then the folder that I was talking about, this is pretty cool here. It's got, when we open it up, we get a couple cool little things here. We got this envelope that's holding some reproduction lyrics in it. And then we get this here, a lithograph of one of the art prints, which is cool. But this is the cool thing here. Let me open this up and show you what we got inside this here. So this has, first off, it has a sticker for the Wildflowers. but then it's got a patch and it's got a really nice raised embroidery on it of the logo. But here's what I liked. It's the reproduction of the yellow legal pad with the lyrics and everything on it that Tom Petty would always carry around with him. And they even reproduce both sides of it, and you can see that it's got what appears to be the ink that has bled through on this. And so you get 4 of these as part of this, and I always like that's the reproduction sort of memorabilia type stuff. I think that's pretty cool, and you get some of that here with this. But of course, what we're all here about is the music, and so there's 11 songs of note that I want to mention, and these 11 are on the 4-disc version, of course, repeat on the 5-disc, but you get Something Could Have Happened, and that's on All the Rest. It's an unreleased. Leave Virginia Alone, another one that's on All the Rest and is unreleased. That one was actually given to Rod Stewart and appeared on his Spanner in the Works album. Then Climb That Hill Blues, which is on All the Rest and it's unreleased. And these next 2 are also on All the Rest. We've got Confusion Wheel and Harry Green. And then Somewhere Under Heaven, also on All the Rest. This one was part of the Entourage movie soundtrack, but ultimately is an unreleased song. It hasn't appeared anywhere else on a Petty album. And then There Goes Angelina. That's on the home recordings, and it's an unreleased song. And A Feeling of Peace, also on the home recordings, which is the unreleased song. Then there's a song on here that's called There's a Break in the Rain, and it's on the home recordings. This one would later turn up on the 2002 Last DJ album as the song Have Love Will Travel, and if you listen to the refrain in this, you'll know what I'm talking about with that. And then on the live disc, there's 2 other songs of note. You've got Driving Down to Georgia. Now, this live version would first turn up on the 2015 Live Anthology album, but had been unreleased up till that point. And Girl on LSD. This is a live take, but the studio version was a B-side to the song You Don't Know How It Feels. Now, on the Super Deluxe edition, there's 3 more songs that I want to mention on here, but it also includes the 2 additional unreleased ones for the total of the 9. You're getting the most unreleased tracks when you get the 5-disc version. And so it has Driving Down to Georgia on the Finding Wildflowers. This is the unreleased studio version of that. And Girl on LSD, which is, this one here's the studio version that would turn up as the B-side on You Don't Know How It Feels. The 4-disc has the live version. This one has the studio version. But then a track that's appearing for the first time anywhere is You Saw Me Comin'. And that one is another unreleased studio version, and it's yet to appear anywhere. So this is the first time it's being introduced. Really cool to finally get that here. And so all in all, this I think is a really solid package here. I think you've got a lot of options. You can buy the simple 2-disc edition of it and get the original 15-track remaster plus the 10 tracks of All the Rest. You can get the 4-disc version of this here that's got 7 unreleased and 54 tracks over the 4 CDs. Or you can get the Super Deluxe Edition version that's a 5-disc and 70 tracks, 9 unreleased. A lot of options in there. If you're interested in that 5-disc, it is only available on Tom Petty's website. The other 2 versions you can get on Amazon or at any of your local music stores. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. I hope everyone has a great day. And just as a reminder, there is a full review of the Wildflowers and All the Rest on my channel. I'll put it in the link below, or the bio below for this, and you can click on that if you want to check out the full review. All right, take care, everyone. Have a good day, and I'll talk to y'all real soon. Bye-bye.